Hello, welcome to Fix It with Fowler. My name's Steve and today I'm going to show you how to sweep your own chimney using the Chimney Typhoon power brush system. A few pros and cons against using such a system and a few little hints and tips to stop you getting soot everywhere. So this video is the first of our series to do with wood burning stoves. I'm going to do another video on how to seal and replace the rope inside your stove, and also a video on actually how to make your stove look brand new. Okay, so please, like I always say, don't forget, if you've not already, hit that like button and don't forget to scroll down and subscribe to my channel. We've got loads of different videos covering a wide range of DIY topics and we keep updating them weekly where possible, so don't miss out. Hit the notification bell and every time I release a video you'll be notified. Okay, so for the purpose of the video, at the minute the fire has got some glass in, so I'm going to take the glass out and then I'm going to put a piece of plastic there so you can actually see into the fire before I start to sweep it. So the first job is to take this glass out. Okay, so the next job is to start taking the fire apart. So simply we can take that out and put that to one side. And the next stage is these vermiculite boards. So the idea of these fire bricks is to actually radiate the heat out the front. So these boards can become quite brittle, so really take your time when you're getting these out. They're not fixed, they just slot together. So these boards are about 5 years old now. I made them a while ago to replace the existing ones, so just put them to one side, but be very careful because if you break these, then obviously that's another job. So the next stage is to take this baffle plate out. So once you've got the baffle plate out, now you can see the dampener at the top, so that will be the next thing that comes out. Now that is different, that's got a 13mm nut and bolt on, so we'll take that out and slide that out, and then that will give us clear access to the actual chimney itself. Okay, so before I get set up to sweep the chimney, I just want to point out that most chimneys are not straight. So in my case, what I've got is a flexible 5-inch liner that comes from the top of the stove, goes up and then goes through a 45 degree and a 45 degree, and then joins the existing chimney with a special adapter. So what that really means is that I've got a 5-inch chimney here, and it goes up to a 7-inch chimney there. So it's difficult to get a traditional brush to do both without putting excess force on this liner, and that's where the Chimney Typhoon comes into its own. So okay, the first thing you can see is that this is a 9-metre kit. They come in all different sizes, and this is the right size for my chimney. Actually, it's a bit long, so it just gives me a little extra room to play with. So in the box, what you actually get is the power brush head. So as that spins, these will flail outwards, and that friction is what will actually clean the chimney. Now these look like they're a nylon, like a reinforced nylon, and these are in fact nylon rods. So the idea is that you can push them up the chimney and you can actually bend them anyway, and they obviously won't snap. And the last thing you want to do is get them stuck in the chimney. So let's have a look at some of the other features with the actual rods themselves. So another great feature of these rods is this spring action clip here. Now that allows the rods to be pushed together and mechanically fixed in place. That is a major benefit over traditional rods, because traditional rods are screw thread. That means that when you come to sweep the chimney, you can quite easily undo them by mistake. So all you need to do with these is get your other rod, line them up, press that in, and then they just engage, and that's you good to go. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to place a bag inside the stove. The theory being that some of the soot will fall into the bag, which will make cleaning up a little bit easier, but we'll see. So before I cover the fire with plastic, I'm going to actually get the first rod into position, which will then just make it easier for the actual sweeping. So again, like I said before, these all clip together, which means that the head, there's no physical way that can come off, because the last thing we want is that to be stuck in the chimney. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this up past the bend, and then we're going to sweep the chimney, and then at the end when we come out, that will just bring all the remaining soot out of the chimney itself. So what you need to do is give that a push, and it should find its own way up. So the most important thing as you're doing this is to make sure that you lock these rods together. So what I do is then give them a tug just to make sure. So that's us into a pretty good place now. So what I'm going to do, you can see the stuff already falling out, I'm not even turned it yet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this front of the fire with some clear plastic, which in theory should help you see what's actually happening inside. Okay, so that's the rods actually all the way to the top of the chimney now. Now you could check by going outside, having a look at the chimney pot. If you've got a cowl on, you can physically feel when it gets to the top. So the next thing really is to think about attaching your drill. Now what you're going to need your release tool for when you start to bring the rods back out of the chimney. This is the actual adapter for your drill. In this instance I've used a battery drill. You could use a mains drill. They recommend anything between 1.5 amp hours upwards for the power of the drill, and you don't want anything that spins too fast. Really the most is about 1800 RPMs. So once you're happy with your selection of the drill, I would recommend putting this into the rods rather than into the drill first. So once you've got that engaged, you can then think about putting it onto the actual drill itself. Okay, so one thing to look out for before you actually start to sweep the chimney is these gloves have got like a rubber palm, quite grippy. So if that was to grip, then that could quite easily jam. So it's important to have the clutch set on your drill. You could do it barehanded. The other option is to get something like this, some kitchen roll, wrap it round the pipe, round the rod loosely, and then you can gently support the rod with no risk of it snagging in your hand. So if you work the rods up and down a couple of foot each time, you can gradually work your way back down the chimney. So at that point there, we know that we're up to this point. So when we put the rods back in, we know that's where we need to be. Okay, so this is the last rod now, just to the final part. We're just round this bend here, so I'm just going to take the time getting this bit out, and then we'll let the dust settle, and then we can have a look and see what we've managed to get out of the chimney. Okay, so that's the chimney all swept. Really simple to do, and I really rate this Chimney Typhoon power brush system. Easy for some people to say. A few pointers if you are going to use it, or you're going to have an attempt to use it. Firstly, make sure that you push the rods to the top of the chimney, and if you reach any obstructions, nip outside, have a look, and you'll be able to see if you're up to the cowl or not. The second thing is take your time with the drill and make sure you put something between your hand and the actual rods if you're going to support them, because the last thing you want is your glove or your skin to grip the rod. You're going to end up with friction burns. So like I did in the video, something like a bit of kitchen roll is ideal. The final thing, and probably one of the most important things to stop you getting in trouble, is to make sure you seal the fire with something. Now the kit does come with a plastic sheet. Our fire is an inset fire, so it's actually quite difficult to put the sheet round. And I'm in the process of changing the glass, so that's why I did it the way I did. Otherwise I would have the door open, and then it becomes quite difficult to put the sheet in place and keep it there. So I hope you liked the video. Don't forget, there's a few more videos going to be coming to do with wood burning stoves. So if you like what you see, then please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. That means every time I release a video, you'll be notified and it'll keep you up to date. And the most important thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you soon.